We back, man. We back. What's up with it, man? Big waves in the building. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Life is just a wave podcast, man. I am so glad to be back, man. Laptop back, man. Back up and running. You know what I'm saying? I miss y'all, man. Do y'all miss me, man? I hope the feeling is mutual. I hope the feeling is mutual, man. But more than anything, hope everybody's doing good out there, man. That y'all blessed, y'all staying safe, man. Everybody's healthy, everybody is good, man. Y'all staying hater free out here in this world, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Life is just a wave podcast. We to talk about it, man. Look, hey, been pretty quiet for the Panthers over the last couple of days, man. But we here to talk about still some holes on this team that hasn't been filled yet, man. And we need to talk about those today, especially when we're talking about weapons for a young quarterback that's going to be coming in, man. So y'all make sure to pull up on your boy. Shout out to everybody, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hopefully everybody can hear me, man. Getting the laptop back up and adjusted. StreamYard link is out there for anybody that want to pull up on your boy. Y'all already know how we doing, man. Sunday live. Hopefully everybody relaxed and chilling, man. Doing good, man. Everybody is good, healthy, everything going good. Y'all already know, man. I'm so motherfucking happy to have this bitch back up and running, man. Hey, shout out to it, man. 704, what's good with it, boy? We back up and running, bro. On the laptop and back. I'm happy, bro. We back at it. We got to talk about it, man. Hey, look, the Carolina Panthers have some options on the table, man. The Carolina Panthers have some options here on the table that's sitting in front of them right now, man. And it's interesting, man, because I really want to know what the Panthers are going to do with trying to bring some weapons on this offensive side of the ball. So to start off, some of you guys may have seen that we brought in Adam Thielen earlier this past week. We also brought in DJ Shark this past week as well to come in, I guess, just to kind of fill out the vibe. Maybe they sat down and talked about some numbers, see what, these guys may potentially want to come in. First started with Adam Thielen. Yeah, why the hell we didn't sign any wide receivers yet? 2 visits, no sign. That's a good question, 704, but we here to talk about it, man. We here to talk about it and get into it. Hey, but 2 guys that have come in that had pretty good production last year. DJ Shark was pretty much revitalized his career with the Detroit Lions last season. Had a pretty solid year, can be a really good threat, deep ball threat, big body wide receiver, super physical. Adam Thielen, even at 32 years old, man, this guy is still one of the best route runners in the NFL. Yes, he may have lost a step when we're talking about speed and burst, but overall, when we're talking about, being a security blanket for a young quarterback that's going to be potentially out there, you need a wide receiver like that veteran presence that can come in and teach a young wide receiving core. Maybe the Panthers say, hey, we want to go ahead and draft our wide receivers in the second round, right? Maybe they're going to do it. Well, you're going to need some type of veteran wide receivers that can take these guys under their wing and teach them how to be a wide receiver at the highest level in the NFL. And I also just seen a report that just came out, man, that broke across Bleacher per ESPN. Looks like the Panthers are trying to sign both of those guys. They're trying to bring in Adam Thielen and DJ Shark. So it would be great to get both of these, even if you can get these guys on short deals, 1 or 2 year deals. I am 100% okay with bringing those guys in on those type of deals, ultimately because you need to fill the room. Like right now, we have no weapons on offense at all. No weapons on offense at all. I got my boys, CLT, they in the back room, man, popping in the back room. I'm going to pull them up here in just a sec. Hey, but we lacking the weapons on the offensive side of the ball, man, and the Panthers need to get it addressed. Like, we need to get it addressed, man. And I'm surprised that we've had 2 visits, to your point, 704, and we haven't signed anybody. I was even mad that we actually missed out on Paris Campbell. I thought Paris Campbell would be a great fit for the Panthers to come in here to be a deep threat, young wide receiver who has a ton of upside. McCole Hardman is still sitting out there in free agency. Would have loved to see Carolina to try to bring them in especially as we're getting to the winding down, phases of the draft. A lot of the big names are off of the boards. Carolina so far has had an A+ when you're talking about the draft overall. I mean, free agency overall, but they still need to add some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And then we have to think about the potential trades out there. Right now, DeAndre Hopkins is a guy that the Arizona Cardinals have made clear that they made available for trade. I think that he will be a great option for the Carolina Panthers, especially with a young quarterback. Now, some of the people may have talked about Hopkins has missed some games. He's 30 years old. I get all of that. But at the same time, DeAndre Hopkins, when he is healthy, is still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Now, granted, he missed 6 games this past year due to a PED suspension, right? Performance enhancement drugs, and still was able to top almost 700 yards receiving in one season, man. This guy's still one of the top wide receivers in the NFL when given a chance. And it said that the Cardinals would want a second-round pick and maybe a potential player for somebody like DeAndre Hopkins and his services. Go for it. I mean, if you're planning on drafting a wide receiver with a second overall pick, Levante David, I think he went back to the Buccaneers on a 1-year deal or something like that, Agent 704, if I'm not mistaken. But if you have a guy of his caliber that, is available and your plan was to draft a wide receiver anyway with that second overall pick, then by all means, why not go ahead and make that trade for DeAndre Hopkins? This is giving the young quarterback a proven wide receiver. You pretty much only giving up a second-round pick, maybe somebody like C.J. Henderson, something like that for one of the arguably top 10 wide receivers in the NFL when he's on the field. Make the deal happen. I see no reason why we shouldn't be able to make that deal happen. Obviously, the Broncos have talked a little bit about trying to get rid of Cortland Sutton, trying to give away Judy. So, and then the Jets have talked about Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is the guy that I see who has a lot of ton of upside. I think he's just got mixed up in kind of some of those wide receiving, the room there. He probably needs a fresh start, but I think that he would do well here in Carolina. Can catch the ball, has elite speed, a guy who can come in and be another good target for a young quarterback. But let me pull up my crew, man. We're going to get to talk to him, man. I ain't been able to do this in so long, and I'm so happy, man, to talk about it, man. CLT, we're going to pull him up, man, here first. CLT, what's good with it, brother? How you been, man? How you living?
I'm doing good. How you been? Everything been smooth?
Man, everything been good, bro. Just getting this laptop back up and running, man. So, we back up here to pop our shit, man. So, we'll go ahead and pull up, man, our next guest, Poppin' Bullets. Poppin', what's good with it, brother?
What's going on, folks? Doing all right?
What's up? Long time no speak, man. It feel like it's been forever, man.
Yeah. What else, CLT?
What's up, man? I'm glad we all got on here today, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man. I had to come on here, man. It's good old Sunday. I said, man, it ain't been the Panther news done kind of slowed down over the last couple of days, fellas, man. But I want to get y'all thoughts, man, on these veteran wide receiving options, man, that the Panthers have been interested in. They brought in Adam Thielen. They brought in DJ Shark. Terrace Marshall Jr. is really the only proven commodity that we have at the wide receiver position right now. Obviously, we signed Hayden Hurst. But how do you guys feel like the Panthers should attack, man, this whole trying to bring in and fill up this wide receiving room?
Before we start, I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you guys rank our current wide receiver core amongst the league? What would y'all put as 1 to 32?
It's 32. It's the worst.
I would say 31. I think our wide receivers are better. Or I would say 30. I would say 30 because I think our wide receivers are better than what Chicago has, and I think we're better than what the Texans got.
With the addition of DJ Moore and Claypool, you feel like better than him?
DJ Moore, what I'm saying? We don't know what he's going to do there. But, until then, right now, I would say 30. Which don't make a big difference. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that we're worse than the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans got, they draft a young wide receiver last year from Alabama. I forgot what his name is. He was hurt or dealing with some type of cancer or something like that. I can't remember what his name was, man. They drafted him in the first round last year. I can't remember
Meacham?
Yep, there you go. Yeah. I think he'll be back. But they just traded Brandon Cooks, which he wanted to get out of there anyway. So let me ask you guys this question, man. How do y'all feel like the Panthers should attack filling up this free agency room now, man? I mean, this wide receiver room. John Mechie, that's his name, Tevin Henderson. Hey, appreciate that, Tevin. John Mechie, that's his name, Mechie. So Mechie's supposed to be back healthy this year, and he could be a potential threat for them, man. And they had another wide receiver from last year, man, the young wide receiver that was coming up for them. He was a rookie last year. He was making some big plays. I can't remember his name for Houston last year, but he had like a single-digit number, and he made a couple plays for Houston last year. But right now, man, I think the Panthers got one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL. I mean, like Terrace Marshall Jr. and then Shi Smith, and that's it. Everybody else is gone.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to really judge or really like analyze our wide receiver room because, we had players that didn't even play. We still had Higgins out there that didn't play at all. We only seen one trick out of Chanel, and that could have came to the bad coaching of McAdoo, and TMJ was really starting to show that he was getting back fully healthy. So it's really hard to analyze what these guys can do. We seen Shi Smith, but we see that he must got baby oil on his gloves. He's too busy running his mouth instead of focus on catches or fumbling. So Shi Smith is
the impression
that we really seen 2 years of what he got. Is he gonna be a boom or a bust?
Yeah, go ahead, CLT.
Yeah, I think either Chenault, he can't run routes or he can't catch. I don't know. He need to play slot tailback or something, but I don't know why he don't really run routes like that. He don't strike me as a receiver, bro. He got the build of a back. We always running through screens, so I place him in the backfield.
Yeah,
I don't consider him receiver.
And that's pretty much what he's been. Even when he was with Jacksonville, man, he was a gadget type player. Never been a real route runner. That's why even when we signed him, and people were making such a big deal about bringing him in, but bro, he's not a wide receiver. Like to me, he has wide receiver capability. But I don't think. See, what's good with it, man? What's up with you, fam? But I don't see him being a guy, man, that we can rely on to be a real threat at wide receiver for us at all. I don't see that at all when it comes to Shenault, man. Honestly, I say get his ass off the books. I don't even really want to keep him on the team, man. I really don't.
I think Shenault got hands, pause, but he catches everything. I don't see him drop pass.
But every time he catching the ball, he behind the line of scrimmage.
But that's the play. That's the play that they drew up for him. If you go back and look at him, how he played in college, he didn't play like that in college. He played routes. Like he ran routes. And since he's been in the league, he had 1 year with Jaguars where they let him run plays and gadget stuff. But I mean, they seem like the NFL has just boxed him in and say, well, this is all he can do. Now look at his college career, bro. He played everywhere, bro. He I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe Frank Wright in this offense can find a way to utilize him a lot better, man. But until I see him actually run some solid routes and catch some passes that's beyond, 5 yards behind the scrimmage or a screen or in the flat or something like that, I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him, man. And when you talk about everybody else, Shi Smith, I mean, I had high hopes for Shi Smith, in the preseason last year. He's a slot wide receiver at the max. Like, that's really the max of all that he can, to me, to where he really can be. I don't see him being a big contributor to the Panthers going forward. I don't.
And a special teamer.
Yeah, special teamer, punt return, kick return, or something like that. But if you're asking me right now, Poppin, there is no wide receiving room in Carolina. Like, we don't have one. Like, we need to really restock this wide receiving room, man.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you guys think that Ben McAdoo was the cause of the decline in Higgins? Because he looked way better in Cleveland than he did with us.
Yep, I think it had to do with him and Boo Boo the Fool, Matt Rule.
Yeah, I could see that, man. I don't think that he got a fair shot. We just didn't see Rashad Higgins a lot, and which kind of makes me think that if he wasn't able to crack this wide receiving group, man, something was either going on or, again, it was just the coaching staff. But, I mean, even for him, man, like, with him not being on the roster no more, because he was a free agent. I think we only signed him to a 1-year deal, so he's a free agent now.
But for real? I thought he was still on. I thought he had a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I
Nah,
thought too.
I don't think he under contract right now for us because when I looked at the free agency, he was an available free agent. I don't think we have him under contract right now. DJ was all we had. Hey, Edge 704, you absolutely right, man. That's all that we had, man. Like, and so now I'm looking at this wide receiver room. The goal is, the Panthers are going to take a young quarterback in this draft, fellas. Like, we know that, right? You got to get as many weapons as you possibly can for him to make the transition as easy as possible, right? That is the most for sure way to be able to transition a young quarterback into the NFL and being a starter right away is make his job easier. Get guys that can get open, they can beat one-on-one coverage. How would you guys feel about a potential trade? There's a lot of names that have come up about potential trades, but how would you guys feel about a potential trade for DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
I don't want to. I don't want to trade what? I mean, what you talking about? Future picks, a player? Like what you talking about?
Yeah, so let's say Arizona. It's been reported that they will want a second round pick
Nope.
and maybe some bum player.
This
So
is why I'm completely out, right? I'm
go
completely
ahead.
out on D Hop for two reasons. First reason is part of the reason that they stated that DJ Moore was traded was to clear cap, right? You're gonna trade, you're gonna trade future draft picks, which we are limited on, and you're gonna pick up a big contract. So it defeats the purpose of trading DJ Moore. For two, he's in his late 30s. So why would I give up a second round pick
Probably
versus
30.
I'm sorry, 30. He's in 30. Well, he's 30
Yeah.
years old. Sorry. But why would you give up a second round pick? Second round picks is a player that you at least want on the team for 4 to 5 years, the rookie contract. So I don't give D Hop next 4 to 5 years to be in the top 10 as a receiver.
I mean, all right, I respect that. Poppy, go ahead and let me hear your soliloquy.
I still think he got juice left. I think he will actually help future wide receivers that we're gonna draft. But because we got beer money and wine taste, it just don't mix. So I don't think that we should really like put ourselves in that situation because, like my man CLT just said, I mean, you slapping yourself back in the face for letting DJ Moore if you went about it that route. So I'm willing to get something for him, but it won't be no second round, and he's gonna have to come down on the prices. One of the main reasons why a lot of these wide receivers haven't been signing is because they know that there's a lot of teams that need wide receivers, so they are upping the price on how much they should get paid because they know it's a commodity that really is necessary and a necessity on the team. So that's why a lot of these wide receivers are just going around, just seeing what people are talking.
Right.
Whichever paid the most money is where they're gonna sign.
Yeah, and then he did have a no trade clause, but it was voided because of the PED suspension. He has 2 years still left on his deal, so he's up on the contract until 2024. So this year and next year. I think, man, if you come, I think personally, I think it would be a great idea to trade for DeAndre Hopkins, and this is why it makes sense. Again, Omar Tillman, what's good, man? Appreciate you for pulling up, brother. Hey, one, Hopkins is still one of the elite wide receivers in the NFL. Even at 30 years old, he's still an elite talent, right? Granted, the big reason why he was out last year was simply because, he got suspended for PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. I think that you trade for him, man, restructure his deal in a way that it's not a big hit to the cap space over the next 2 to 3 years. Like, honestly, I would give him probably like a 3 year, restructure his contract where it's like a 2 to 3 year deal. Maybe give him a decent base salary and bring him in at a lower cap rate where it's not hitting against the deal. Obviously, any team, he's going to have to restructure his deal to be brought in, right? Make that trade for DeAndre happen. Let him be a mentor to young wide receivers that we end up drafting in the draft. The Panthers still have 6 draft picks this year. They're still going to bring in some young wide receivers or young talent, whatever the case may be. But to bring him in to have a sure number one wide receiver for a young quarterback, bro, with a Hayden Hurst, with a Miles Sanders, the Panthers they've sped up their process of being a contender right away. Like, and honestly, You can, man, the way that fits that our GM been getting these deals done, man, with these free agencies, how they've been moving money, man, making the money work for them. They can make D-Hop contract work for us, man. They can make some restructuring, talk down here, you know what I'm saying, bring down that number, whatever the case may be, to make it make sense here for Carolina. Even if he's only here for even if he here only for 2 years, bro, it's worth it. It's worth that because, again, he's still a top 10 talent when he's on the field and healthy, bro.
So what would you give up?
Huh?
Would you give up that second?
I would give up the second because you're going to spend it on a wide receiver anyway.
No. I don't give up the second. That's off the table.
I would give up that second, bro. I would 100% give up that second.
You gotta think about it. We giving up that second. We don't have a first next year, and we don't have a second the year after that, bro. This trade with DJ put us back. Well, not put us back, but is going to be featured for 3 years, bro. There's no way that I'm giving up that second, bro, to bring in young talent, something that slipped out of the first, because we still got that high second. You know, we gave up the later second, so we got some opportunity to bring in something that slipped out of the first round that could be a first round talent in the second round. No.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like I feel what you're saying. Like I 100% get it, right? Like I think that, like I'm on both ends of the spectrum because obviously there's the other side of this where you can bring in an Adam Thielen, you can bring in a DJ Shark, probably sign those guys to 2-year deals, and they'll be veteran wide receivers who can give you a lot of the same production, and you keep your draft picks, right? So that's obvious. But again, man, I guess, man, I'm in that mindset too. It's like the opportunity to get a wide receiver like DeAndre. And be honest with you, let's keep it real. Man, the way stuff has been going in free agency with each breath, top wide, like, come on. Jalen Ramsey got traded for a 3rd-round pick. I really don't see nobody giving them a 2nd-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, bro.
I don't see.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You said you would give up the second.
I would, like, honestly, I would give it, but I don't really foresee them making that kind of move. But I would give it up if that's what they wanted. I'm gonna draft a wide receiver, so why not get a proven commodity? That's what I'm saying. But I don't see Arizona getting a 2nd-round pick for D-Hop. I don't see that at all. I really don't.
They didn't even give up a 2nd-round pick to get him. What, they gave like a 5th or a 6th or something like that?
Yeah, like what these guys, like, come on, bro. Brandon Cooks just got traded for a 4th and 5th round pick. Who else got traded that went to Stephon Gilmore got traded for like a 5th or 6th round pick to go to Dallas.
He got a 5th.
Yeah, like a 5th round pick to go to Dallas. These trades, bro, these teams ain't getting no top draft capital for these dudes.
Yeah, like I said,
go ahead,
if we can trade for him and not give up the second, I would do so.
Would you do it for a 3rd? This year's 3rd?
Yes, I'll do it for this year's 3rd. I'll do it for this year's 3rd, and also he has to work on that contract. Fitter has to work some magic with that contract.
Oh yeah,
you're still biting the bullet when it comes to DJ. I would if I could, but like you said, I would give it the 3rd. The other option, like you said, is Chark and Thielen. If I sign Chark and Thielen, because I just looked up, Higgins is still on contract. I cut Higgins.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
I cut Higgins and I cut Chenault to bring in Chark and Thielen, and I still draft a receiver in the 2nd round.
Yeah, because you need weapons. Like, honestly, guys, with how free agency has played out, and I'm going to be doing a mock draft here, man. I'm probably going to do a mock draft either Monday or Tuesday, and I want y'all to pull up for that too, man. With how things have played out here in free agency, the Panthers draft needs have changed. Like, really, they've changed. They've 100% changed. Because you got to think about it now. With Shaq Thompson re-signing, we signed Von Bell, so now Jeremy Chin is probably going to be playing in the box now. You still got a Brandon Smith. You still got Frankie Louisville. Is the need for a linebacker that aggressive now, right? Is the need for a linebacker really that aggressive as it once was? Now you signed Hayden Hurst. Is the need for a tight end as important now? Because Hayden Hurst is still a young tight end that can be a threat. You signed him to a 3-year deal, so he's probably going to be the starter for the next couple of years. Miles Sanders being signed at running back. Is the need for a running back that dire now? Honestly, if you're asking me now, like with the draft and the picks that we have left, what we need to do, you got to get weapons for this quarterback, bro. You got to get, to me, the wide receiver position right now has jumped ahead to like the number one priority that the Panthers need to fill right now because you just don't have any talent at wide receiver at all.
I would say wide receiver and corner, and I still
Yeah,
think
I agree.
I think Miles Sanders, just based off his build, he needs a 1-2. I don't believe in Schubert, so I think you still would spend at least a
TJ, what's up with you, boy?
fourth or fifth on the back.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't believe in Chuba like that either. I mean, for him to be his size and not shifty enough, it's kind of wild. You know what I mean? He don't have no wiggle pause, but I mean, he just runs straight in the hole, and sometimes he get through there, sometimes he don't. But you know, I think they really do need a power back, like a real for sure. You know, nice 240.
Sign Zeke. You can get Zeke on a 1-year deal right now, offering him pennies. Sign Zeke.
You gonna give Zeke still 8? You probably give Zeke still 8 million a year.
Nah, hell no.
Zeke
Okay,
doesn't get 8.
okay, 8 million, 7 to 8 million for 1 year. That's it. And all he is a goal line back.
But
I'm all right with that.
why would you give him 7 to 8
You're not building.
8 million? We're not winning the championship this year.
Yeah, we're not
But
building
what
for.
I'm
We ain't
saying
building
is,
for
bro,
1 year.
you can give him 7 to 8 million to come in for 1 year. Like honestly, I would sign him to a 2-year deal. I would give him a 2-year, $10 million deal, bro. Zeke, 2-year, 10 million. Give him one
Now,
his first year.
Zeke
And
is not
how
a
old is
bad
that
option
contract, bro?
because he can pass block, and we're drafting a quarterback, so that helps.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah, he can pass block. Zeke can. He might not have the burst he used to have, but short yardage situation on the goal line, Zeke can still give you that, bro.
Right.
He
Agreed.
can still give you that protection. He can still block. He still can give you short yardage, and he can still give you goal line work. Signed to a 2-year deal where basically the first year is a prove-it deal. You know, hey, let's say he get 7 to 8 touchdowns from the goal line. To me, that's all you bringing him in for. 2-year, $10 million deals, 5 a year.
Honestly, I think if you're thinking about Zeke, I would go Leonard Fournette because it's cheaper.
Yeah, you can get Leonard Fournette too.
I will go with Leonard Fournette. That's CLT. You on fire with that one? Hell yeah, I will go Leonard Fournette, bro.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette is a good option. You know, keep him in the NFC South. You might, like I said, get him for a 1 or 2 year deal. I'm all right with that too.
Yeah,
bring him in as a change of pace. You know, we need that power runner. We definitely need that.
Get Lenny for pennies.
Yeah, but honestly, both of those guys, man, go be dirt cheap, bro. That you can bring in, man. Like,
and then another thing is Zeke coming from Dallas with that market. I don't see him going to come to us for cheaper and in a way lower market. I see him because Buffalo want him. I've seen, so I can see Zeke going to Buffalo. I think we can get Lenny. I think we can get Lenny for like maybe 2-3 million a year. And like I said, he's gonna be that short yardage. That 1-2-10. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm all right with that too. You can bring in Leonard Fournette. I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, that was a great suggestion right there. I ain't even think about that. I forgot that they let him go.
Yeah, they did, man. They definitely let him go. He would be a good option to come in and be, honestly, man, we need to have a 3-back system anyway. Like that's what if you look at all of the good teams, they got 3-back systems. Like even the year that Miles Sanders rushed for 1,200 yards last year. Like he rushed for 1,200 yards with the Eagles. Now, granted, he was behind arguably the best offensive line in the NFL. The Eagles got one hell of an offensive line. But even still, they still had like a 3-back system with Boston Scott and number 14. I can't think of his name, but they still had a 3-back system. So I think the Panthers should still make one more move, man, to bring in another back. Some bigger backs in the NFL draft. Shout out to Danny. Said Roshan Johnson, Keandre Miller on cheap rookie deal. Yeah, you can get those guys on rookie deals as well.
But I think that's where I'm at with it. Like, I just ready to get our own guy. You know what I'm saying? Miles Sanders was a big pickup, and then we get somebody for the low for cheap because I don't really see the difference between Chuba and Blackshear. To be honest with you, other than one's been here longer.
Right. I mean, but Chuba, man, like I said with Chuba Hubbard last time, bro, Chuba showed some flashes. He really did. He showed some flashes, bro. Like last season when he doesn't need to be. Chuba Hubbard is not an every down back. He's not every down back. Wiley, pull up, man. The link is at the top of the comments, man. Scroll up, pull up. Wiley, I want to get you on here, man. I ain't talked to you in a while. He's not an every down back. I think if we use Schubert kind of like how we used him last year, is like a 1-2 or 1-3 punch, bro. I think Schubert is decent. Like I think that he can be decent in that type of role. He's just not a running back that you can have in on all 3 downs. He's just not that.
I'll let his ass walk. I'll take Miles. I take Blackshear, and I go get us one of them big boys, one of them big thumpers, because shit, Chew can't even catch the ball.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not gonna be your pass catching running back. That's not him, man. That's not him. He ain't your pass catching back. Chuba is that change of pace back.
Like Leonard can catch the ball. Leonard can catch the ball too.
You said who?
Fournette can catch.
Leonard Fournette can catch.
Yeah,
Blackshear can catch. Man, Chuba ain't getting that.
Wally, what's up with your brother?
Ain't nothing to it, man. See you doing your thing.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming showing the love, boy. We over here, man. Life is just a Wave podcast, man. How you been?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. This off season here.
It's been a hell of an off season.
I ain't seen nothing like this before.
Right, definitely. This. I'm gonna be honest with you. This probably been one of the most impressive Panther off seasons I've ever seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before. I've been watching it from the beginning. Now, when we first came out and we had all those veterans in '95, that was impressive.
Yeah, that was good one.
Yeah, this right here though is different. But I think people are not giving Dom Capers enough credit. People keep talking about Fangio, but people keep forgetting that Fangio was his defensive coordinator twice. And the way Evero plays defense is just like Dom. Right. Aggressive.
Who's our wide receiver coach?
Jefferson. He came from Miami.
From the Rams too?
I think he was the Rams in Miami.
Yeah. I think it's somebody that worked with Thomas Brown before.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I know he came from. He was at both places, but I think the last place he was at Miami.
Yeah, he was in Miami. Sean Jefferson, that's his name. Yeah, he was in Miami down there working with Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Waddle, let me ask you a question, man. I asked these boys, man, but now that you're here, how should the Panthers go about addressing, man, the hole in this wide receiver room now?
Hey, I think we should get a veteran and draft one. And the veteran, I was looking at the guy that the Dallas just picked up,
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, that'd have been nice speed, and then get yourself a receiver that you can turn into a route runner for longevity.
So the Panthers brought in this past week, man. They brought in Adam Thielen and DJ Sharp, but looks like the Panthers were not able to get a deal done with those guys, at least not yet. What are your thoughts, man, on bringing one of those guys in, man?
I take Thielen for this reason. Draft yourself a future, every down receiver and let Thielen mentor. See, people don't realize Steve Smith, when he was a young guy, what was that guy that came from the Rams? He was our coach too. Steve always talks about him. I'm trying to remember his name right now.
You're not talking about Musa Muhammad?
No.
It's the white guy.
Ricky Pro.
You go. Pro helped Steve. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he definitely did.
And Thielen got that dog in him, and he's a great route runner. So, hey, he could teach the mentor a guy. Have that 2 years, and hey, there you go.
And he would be cheaper than D Hop because he looks about like $4 million a year type of from what he's been getting paid. It's about $4 million a year.
Take that.
Definitely, man. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Kendall the GOAT, man. Shout out to you, GOAT. What's up with you, bro? How you been, man? Long time no talk. Agreed, man. The Panthers they definitely going to need a veteran wide receiver or two. Because to me, this whole wide receiver room, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Terrace Marshall Jr. has the potential, and I said this on my last live. TMJ, if he can stay healthy, has the potential to be a real threat for Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Like he got footage now. You can call him Mr. Glass, Plastic, whatever you want to call him. But go and look at Terrence Marshall Jr. He made some big catches for Carolina last season.
He did.
He really did. And I'm not ready to write TMJ off yet, man.
No.
He stayed healthy. Like he's
Yeah.
showing if he can stay on the field while he's CLT and popping, Terrence Marshall Jr. can be a great either a great 2 wide receiver to a 1, whoever it is. Terrence Marshall Jr., I think we still just scratching the surface of what he can be. He just haven't been able to stay healthy.
He
That's
only
all.
played a year and a half.
But as a Panthers fan, bro, we tired of riding on potential and hope. Like he's going into his 3rd year, bro. It's like we kind of feel like we feel like we got what we
He
got.
shined though. Like last year, he shined, and that's with no consistency at quarterback at all.
And that's the thing that people keep forgetting is you can't catch the ball when the ball's thrown at your foot.
I don't want to write him off. Like I said before, I'm hopeful we want him to be good. But just like if that's the case, why are we in a wide receiver frenzy? Like, why are we bringing these both veterans in? We can't sign none of these veterans, and we just need basically if we got him, we just need one.
You can't because the wide receiver room is empty, man. Like you gotta have as many weapons as we possibly can for this young quarterback, CLT.
If it's that empty, you go ahead and release Schultz and you release Higgins if they're dead weight.
Yeah, I think they keeping them for special teams reasons. I think they staying on for special teams, man. I don't see them guys having big impacts on the wide receiving room, man. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Before the season starts, the Panthers need to bring in about 3 or 4 more wide receivers. They got to.
Well, they're gonna be there for competition and see what comes out.
Yeah.
If we do use that 2nd round pick on a receiver, bro, what do we do about the defensive end?
I saw something today. They said that the Panthers, was potentially trading for Zadarius Smith from the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, that'd be outstanding.
That'd be great. I mean,
they were talking about the Panthers they might have some interest in trading for Zadarius Smith, man. In this 3-4 scheme, he can play linebacker too.
Yeah, and that's the key. Not a DN, but an outside linebacker.
He's already told them that he's gone. He's like, I'm out of here.
Right. So honestly, and you got to remember with the defensive tackles that our scheme has changed. You don't necessarily need a true defensive end anymore because now Derek Brown can move to defensive end. Now that you brought in Rashawn Williams from the Broncos and Sean Tittle from the Saints, Derek Brown can step in now in the 3-4 scheme to a defensive role.
And you still got Boyd McCoy on the bench.
I don't think he's fast enough to set the edge to be able to slide defensive end.
But in the 3-4 scheme, you don't have to have elite speed at defensive end because you got so many linebackers on the field.
Correct.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, Brian Burns is not going to have his hand in the ground a ton in this scheme. He's going to be more so of a hybrid, just depending on the situation, pass rusher.
Correct. And if the ball coming his way or going the opposite way, he may rush or he may drop in the cover.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole different scheme.
Well, looking at the way y'all looking at it, like bringing in Shuttle and bringing in the kid from the Broncos, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I think our main problem, well, 2 of our main problems is going to be hard to get one of these veteran wide. One is the money.
Poppy, you breaking up, brother. You coming in and out.
My bad. I said I think 2 of the main reasons why we're going to have problems signing these veteran wide receivers because 1, we don't have a lot of money. Not as in this year. And number 2, if you look at the projection of these veteran wide receivers, they're 30s. You know what I'm saying? 31, 30 years old. They're and neither one of them got a ring. So I think they're trying to look for a place where they don't have to be dependent on them doing all the work. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We're not in that realm to be like, hey, you come here, we can get you there. We're a couple years away.
It might be their last payday though.
So breaking news, fellas. This is per Adam Schefter, man. This was just reported by Dov Kellerman for the Carolina Panthers. They said insider Adam Schefter and Jeremy Fowler. It was noted that the Panthers are attempting to land both Thielen and Sharp. Carolina recently traded away wide receiver DJ Moore, so they're trying to get a deal done with both Thielen and DJ Sharp. So they want both.
Wow.
Yep. So it looks like
you
they're trying to
both of them.
Both of them.
We still got to draft somebody.
Yeah, if you found both of them, Shark, your boy Higgins and your boy Chenault, get them up out of here. Get them off the books.
Chenault gonna still be here. I don't know about the other guy, Higgins.
I will release both of them, especially if you're going to draft another receiver, because I would take the money that we're gaining from cutting them and apply it to Thielen and Sharp. It doesn't make sense to have them on the roster.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about this too, Wiley. Both of these guys, man, and if you look at how free agents have been signing, nobody has really been signing any long-term deals as free agency with everybody across the league. It's been like these 2 to 3 year deals. Bro, you can get Thielen and DJ Shark, man. Get these guys on a 2-year deal. You know, you still go draft you a young wide receiver, but at least that's giving you 2 proven commodities at the wide receiver position that you can start on. Hayden Hurst is going to be huge for us at tight end, bro.
True.
I'm telling you right now, I see him having a monster season because you got to remember he's a security blanket. And if you go back and look at his tape, one thing that he specialized in, even in this past playoffs, Hayden Hurst knows how to get behind the second level. So he can get behind linebackers and like find the soft spots in the defense for check down, easy check downs. But having Miles Sanders at running back, now you have an explosive running back that you're able to give the ball off to that's shifty, can break tackles. He runs hard. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. I'm telling you, man, if the Panthers are able to even bring in 1 or 2 of these guys, still having Terrace Marshall Jr. there, you have a formidable offense now here in Carolina. But the wide receiver room is just the elephant in the room. It's empty.
Well, go ahead, Pop.
Well, I was saying, if I'm not mistaken, bro, nobody has reset the market in any position this year, bro. The free agency has been really cheap this year.
Cheap. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Even the trades. Like Jalen Ramsey went to the Dolphins for a 3rd-round pick.
Shit.
These
guys are going for 6th-round picks.
Right. Brandon Cooks, a 5th-round pick. Stephon Gilmore, a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
Come on. That's how I know we could get D-Hop for some scraps, man. We call Arizona right now and say, man, we're going to give y'all a 3rd-round pick for D-Hop right now. They go pull the trigger, bro. Because one, they want his salary off the books. And secondly, they rebuild it. They don't need no older veterans there. We're closer to a championship than the Cardinals are right now. I'm telling you.
You're right.
So, I mean,
that's going to be an excuse for Kyler, though. They might as well keep. That's going to be an excuse for Kyler. They might as well keep him.
Kyler suspended the first 6 games.
Yeah.
He's going to be out the first 6 games. Not suspended, but he injured. They say he's not going to be back till week 6 or 7.
But I'm saying they made the excuse that Kyler didn't have weapons. You got him, Kyler Murray. You got him, your kid from Baltimore. Why would you then let D-Hop go? That doesn't make sense.
Because, bro, they just fired their coach.
D-Hop don't.
They are 100% in rebuild. Supernova, what's good with you, man? Shout out to everybody that's here. Hey, listen, if you haven't done so already, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel, man. Life is Just Your Wave podcast, man, over here with your big boy. Big Waves in the building. Man, if y'all feeling generous today, man, y'all see that cash out, man. Whatever donations is greatly appreciated as well. So appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. I got Wiley on here, Papa and CLT. Appreciate these boys for pulling up. Go ahead, Wiley. Go ahead and pop your stuff, man.
Hey, man, I just was thinking when we were going through this, and I was looking at all our needs, right? We might, if we get those 2 guys, we may not draft a receiver to next year because then we get a 1st-round receiver. Why would you draft a guy in this even a good receiver class?
We don't have a 1st-round next year. Why?
Yeah, we do. We have a 1st-round next year. No, we traded a 2nd-round next year. 2nd-round next year. We got a 1st-round.
We traded this year's 1st.
Next year's 2nd.
Next year's 1st, and the year after that 2nd.
Yeah. That's right.
We don't have a 1st.
That's right. Yeah, we don't got a 1st next year.
We don't. We have one, but okay.
Yeah. We got our 1st one will come back to 2025.
Ah.
Yep. I said we gave up too much, bro. We gave up too much. Bro. We gave up a 1st, a 2nd, and DJ. And DJ is a 1st-round. DJ is a 1st-round pick. So essentially, we gave up 2 firsts and a 2nd and swapped. No, we gave up too much, bro. I don't care what nobody says.
I don't know if you gave up too much.
Man, you can't.
They had to give it up.
You had to give it up to get your quarterback, bro.
And that wasn't as much as people were saying.
Exactly. We actually, honestly, they said that they really wanted 3 first-round picks. The DJ Moore trade is what softened up our first round. So honestly,
I don't think we had to get all the way to
give
one.
up a lot to move to where we honestly we got a good deal.
I don't think we had to get all the way to one.
They could have took more picks from this year. We still got 6 picks left in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I don't think we all had to get all the way to one.
Jesse, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you for pulling up here on the channel.
Hey, you had to go to one to solidify who you wanted to get. You're not gonna go to 3 and get who you want.
Exactly. There you go.
But the consensus we have the consensus said we haven't picked up who we want between Bryce or Stroud, and they haven't.
That's the game.
Richardson.
But that's the game they playing, bro. They doing
that's a strategy. That's just a strategy. I'm gonna tell you why the Panthers are doing that. CLT. They're trying to get a team to trade up to number 1 and for us to recruit some picks. Like that's really what they're trying to do. They got the bait out there, right? They hanging the bait by saying we don't know who we want or we don't know. So a team like the Texans or the Colts will get desperate and try to trade up and offer us something to get back to number 1 so that we can trade down a spot or 2, and still be able to get one of these quarterbacks, but also recruit some of our picks. That's the only reason. Man, this is a tactic the Panthers using. They know who they want, man.
I want that to happen, right? I want that to happen. I want us to trade back. But when have you seen that happen? Someone traded all the way to 1 and then trade back. You don't see it.
No, it hasn't happened. But what I'm saying is they're using this as a tactic by saying that they don't. Come on, bro. There's no way in hell that you trade up to number 1 and you don't know who you're going to get. Like that. Like the Panthers are using this as bait. They're trying to make it seem to the rest of the NFL like they're undecided on the guy. So a team like the Colts, who desperately need a quarterback, will sit up here and say, well, look, I need to get on the phone with Scott Fitterer right now. Since they're so undecided, they don't know. Maybe my guy will still be available there. So let me see what it will take to get from them to trade up 1 spot. Or a team like Texas to trade up 1 spot.
And just to push back on that a little bit, like CLT, whenever you ever seen the Panthers ever be this aggressive in free agency? So we can't say never or ever anymore because this is a new like fresh air right now, bro.
It's a
You can't never say never ever.
Talk, man.
Yeah,
I didn't say I said I want that to happen, right? But I said we have never seen it happen. And like you said,
but that's what I'm saying. You've never seen the Panthers ever be this aggressive. You've never seen them do any of these things.
I agree. But another thing is too, right? And this is why I feel that we gave up too much, right? Drafting is a never 100% sure. So what if we miss? What if we miss? What if we get the guy that we want and he doesn't pan out in the league? Now what? What do we do?
All right, hold on, Papa. Let me get his ass on that one first. I gotta get it. Hey, listen, let me tell you something, bro. You gonna miss 100 shots you don't take. CLT. Listen, you gotta understand something. The Panthers have not solidified the most important position of their team for the last 6 years, bro. In the NFL, that's equivalent to a lifetime, like of not having a quarterback, right? So my thing about it is this. It's always going to be a risk when you are aggressive and you try to get a quarterback. Every team that drafts somebody, you're assuming that this guy is going to turn out to be who you want it to be. But I promise you this. The Panthers, what they saw, and the reason why they traded up, because they saw that at number 9, the likelihood of them getting one of the top prospects at number 9 was probably 0, right? And they know, just like we know, that the top guys in this draft are special, and everybody else is going to be a project per se, right? Now let me finish breaking it down. C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are the cream of the crop. I think we could tell from the combine and watching these guys play. I'm a college fan, so I watch both of these guys play, especially Bryce Young, since I'm obviously an LSU fan, so I watch the SEC football. Bro, it is a big difference between C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young than Will Levis and Anthony Richardson and then everybody else that falls up under that. The Panthers knew that. They know that, bro. Bryce Young, I don't care what you say about his size. You can say whatever you want to say about his size. Size doesn't mean anything in the NFL no more, bro. Bryce Young is going to be an elite quarterback. That's why he's being talked about in a lot of mock drafts being number one over Stroud. Bryce Young has an elite talent of an arm, but you got to remember something. Anybody that wants to know how special Bryce Young is, go and watch the game when he played against Tennessee this past year.
All right,
Go
this is why I
watch the
challenge you.
footage.
This is why I challenge you, right? When you say the size thing doesn't matter. At number one, you want that quarterback to last 10 years. Supposed to be a franchise quarterback for 10 years. At that size, I don't see him lasting 10 years. So I exclude Bryce Young from the rip for number one.
How can you say that behind this offensive line? Why you think they made it such a
We
big
don't have
deal?
the best offensive line.
We were top five. We finished top five in offensive line this past year. We had a top five. Granted, we were number 5, but we finished in the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL this past season.
But we released some offensive linemen this year. Then we released
Not no starters. The starters is all back.
No starters were released.
Yeah, all of the starters is back, baby. You still got Corbett locked in for another 2 years. You got Bradley Bozeman, they just locked in. You still got Taylor Moton anchoring the right side. You got the rook from last year, got the left side anchored down. And then who else am I missing over there? I think
we just got a new lineman the other day.
Yep. Yeah, our whole entire offensive line is back, bro. Bryce will be protected behind his line.
I seen something that we released the offensive lineman though.
Yeah, it probably
Pat
was.
F-line.
Pat
F-line.
Yeah, but come on, man. He a bum, Wiley. We all know he a bum. Come on now.
Yeah, we just signed a big dude like 3 days ago. Friday night.
I seen that.
Yeah, he played guard.
Yeah, I just don't believe in Bryce at 1, bro, just because of the size. You see with Tua, you see the thing with Kyler Murray. You what's your boy? Russell Wilson had 20 pounds got 20 pounds on Bryce Young, so that's excluded. Drew Brees, Hayden Commodity. I just don't believe in the size.
The thing about Bryce Young, that may have him last 10 years, and this is why. Because he's coming in the door with something that a lot of these quarterbacks have not gotten to yet, and some that are already quarterbacks in the NFL, and that's his brain. This man has an elite brain, bro. He's already surpassed. He already knows defenses that he hasn't played against yet, because that's how that man hits the books. He really studies. Then. And I mean, you can look all this up, man. He researches who he's playing before they even got there. You know what I'm saying? So he going to his coaches and let them know, hey, this is what I think we should do against this opponent this week.
Yes, sir.
You want somebody who's that dedicated. You know, forget his size and all that. Yeah, we understand that that's going to be something that he can't change. None of us can change. None of us can change our sizes. Okay, but at the end of the day, if he knows how to play smart, he can last. The organization just got to make sure that they put the big hog maulers in front of him to protect him, and he's got to play smart.
And there you go. And see, the thing about it is like this too. Bryce Young problem wasn't an issue when he was in college, and we all can agree that SEC is the closest thing to the NFL you can be in college football. Bryce Young, he didn't get hurt in college. He had that one shoulder injury where he missed a quarter and he was back. He got escapability. He can throw the ball. He's one of the most intelligent, probably if not the smartest quarterback coming out of this drive. Listen, granted this, let me be real with y'all fellas. If I'm leaning towards one way or another between Bryce or CJ, and I honestly think that it's coming down to either one, I am leaning more towards CJ Stroud. I really am. And I really am leaning more towards him, but I would not be upset if the Panthers decided to get Bryce Young, bro. Like, Bryce Young is going to be a special player in the NFL, bro. He really is. He got an arm, man, and he's deadly accurate too. He's smart. He know how to read safeties. He can read defenses very well. I would not be mad at either one. But if you ask me right now, who would I probably prefer to draft? I would draft CJ Stroud just to put an end to those size questions. But the size thing is really just not it's really not a much of a factor for me if we decided to go Bryce.
Yeah, and I'm stuck between two quarterbacks, but I definitely don't want Levis. I mean, his decision making is
horrible.
Awful, bro. It is terrible.
Hell no. If the Panthers traded to number 1 and draft Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, y'all, I am going to be pissed off. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If the Panthers gave up what they gave up to get Anthony Richardson, and every draft analyst have said that Anthony Richardson We all know the positives. He has the elite size. He's a hell of an athlete. He got the speed. We know he got a strong arm. But guess what he didn't do at the combine? He didn't throw no accuracy drills. He didn't do no accuracy drills. You know why? Because he finished with a 53% completion percentage his last year when he was in Florida. He cannot throw the ball, man. He's a project. He's a quarterback that's not ready to play right now. He's not ready to play right now. Anthony Richardson is not. And if they traded all the way up to number 1 to get him, y'all, I'm going to be so disappointed. I'm going to be so disappointed if they done that. That would be that's a step backwards to me.
Would you trade back to 4 and get him at 4?
Depending on whatever the team will be willing to get up to move to 1.
True. But whoever we draft, though, you look at the situation. This hasn't been a quarterback that came in the league with this kind of situation. None of them.
Yeah, agreed. That's agreed, Wiley. And I 100% respect what you guys saying, but like, okay,
maybe
so
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. I was over there on Between the Lines podcast, right? Listen, I got cussed out about the Panthers being this aggressive, making these moves to move up to go get somebody. Listen, my whole stance on this whole thing with the Panthers is that you can't wait to go get your quarterback in the NFL.
Come on, Wavez.
Understand something. Frank Wright, he doesn't even have a lot of time. David Tepper, with the investments that he's made into the staff and the way he's cut this checkbook and the free agent moves that these Panthers done made, time is of the essence. These moves are not saying that we're going to be winning in the next 3 to 4 years. These moves are saying that the Panthers should be very competitive over the first 2 years of under Frank Wright. That's what these moves are saying.
Yeah, wait, but check it out. I remember, though, with the discussion we had on the other podcast.
Yes, sir.
The problem was you had us taking out our draws, giving it up, giving some 3,000.
You had to do it.
Asking who next? Come on, bro.
But you had, but Wiley, did we not have to give up all of the goods to get to number 1?
No, we didn't give up like you thought. But this I can deal with. Because this I can deal with. The number we gave up, even though I didn't want to give up DJ, but I understand why Chicago did it, because Chicago can't draft a receiver. They haven't had the ability to draft a receiver. No, they never drafted a receiver. The receiver they had was Brandon. And Brandon came from what is it, Denver to Miami or Miami to Chicago? I'm trying to remember.
Brandon done played on so many teams.
Yeah,
I don't know. None of the receivers that's coming out this year just wow me. None of them just wow me, bro. None of them give me Jamar. None of them give me Jamar Chase. None of them give me Justin Jefferson.
Nah, they not on those levels. Nah,
not this year.
Not this year, but I think Johnson is going to be a good wide receiver, and I think Jalen Hyatt will be a good wide receiver as well. They're not to me must-have guys, but if any 2 wide receivers that I would take out of this group, I would take one of those 2.
But Hyatt should fall to the second round.
He should, but we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
You give me Zay Flowers.
Yeah, Zay Flowers has speed. I wanted to see him run a little bit faster at the combine, though, man.
I don't want Zay Flowers because I feel like we haven't had that height receiver. We never. Well, when you say Cal, you can say Calvin Bennett, but he was a bum. He couldn't stay in shape, so we haven't had that height receiver in history, really. Musa Muhammad.
Chaz Marshall 6'2", 6'3".
But he has.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a second, but he's not going to go up and take the ball from nobody.
What?
Who is taking the ball from?
Right, he was doing that at LSU.
But who has he done to in the league?
He did. He had a couple on this year.
Yeah. I ain't seen no high points. Show me a high point.
Yeah, with no high points, really.
I think it was the Atlanta. It was either the Atlanta game or that Cardinals game. You remember?
He did against Cincinnati too.
Yeah, where he had I can't remember. It might have been Sam Darnold. Somebody threw him a high ball. He went up and go snatch it down.
If you go get Bryce Young, which I'm saying he could be, why would you get a short quarterback and a short receiver?
Okay. We need a deep threat. You need a deep threat. We don't have no deep threat at wide receiver at all.
True. And the thing about Zay, he can play in the slot and take one across the middle up to the house. So I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
You got Nathaniel Tank Dale too. Nathaniel Tank Dale, decent.
Okay, I have to check him out.
Let me answer this question for him, fellas. He say, Waves, what do you think about Kayshon Boutte out of LSU? I think he's a bust. Hey, man, I will tell you this, man. Kayshon Boutte probably should have stayed at LSU for 1 year. Simply, he didn't have a great combine. Like, his combine wasn't great. And I think that he probably came out a year too late. Like, if he would have came out last year, his stock probably would have been a little bit higher, but he decided to stay. So if I'm Kayshon Boutte, I would have returned to LSU for 1 more year and try to have 1 more good season before I try to go for the draft. But far as calling him a bust, potentially, we'll see. Go ahead, Wally. I'm sorry, fellas. Go ahead.
He's the receiver from LSU. Well, you know what? He may be available. He may be available in the 3rd round. So, because he's not going to go in the 2nd round. So maybe available in 3rd round.
Yeah,
so that gives us an opportunity. Yeah, that gives us an opportunity.
I don't see him making that
somebody Oh, okay.
I don't see him making that decision.
You said you don't see who?
I don't see Kayshon Boutte making it out of the second.
He is, bro. He is. He definitely probably gonna be like a day 3 pick. He's hurting his stock, man. He didn't have a good combine at all.
Yeah.
Like he ran slow. Like, hopefully the pro day he can help his stock out some. But I definitely see him like going in like a 3 and 4. He's gonna slide.
But you gotta think about it. So. Before combine and before like Jackson, the dude from Ohio State, before they entered the draft, they had Boutte and the kid from TCU being the top receivers.
Yeah, they did have him like early on in the regular season. He was ranked as one of the top wide receivers, man. But Boutte didn't even have a good year, like far as college goes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that was because Jalen Daniels, he's obviously more of a running threat at quarterback than he is a passer, but he can pass the ball. But Boutte just didn't stand out. I wanted to see him, this year really take the step, and I just didn't see him do it at LSU this year. So, I mean, he is going to get drafted. But I would definitely say that he's probably going to be like a 3rd or 4th round pick. He's definitely a day 2 pick. He's not going to – I don't even see him going in the 2nd round. I think he's going to be a 3rd round to 4th round pick, honestly, at this point. But you did bring up somebody that's interesting that if they're there in the 2nd round, the Panthers got to think about taking him there, and that's Nick Jigba from Ohio State.
I take him.
I don't think he's gonna be there at 39. To be honest with you,
he might not be popping.
The way he ran the way he was running his routes.
Yeah,
man, you knew it was over. You knew it was over, bro.
Yeah, he killed the combine, man.
He killed it.
Fantasy.
Yeah, he killed the combine. Even on the when they took him through the what's the drill called when they got to run and catch from left and right? That drill. He didn't drop the damn pass.
He the first wide receiver gone, bro.
You think so?
You go ahead and stamp that now. That boy out of here.
He might be
out of here.
He might be. He really might be. I'm 100% like agreeing with you on that. He really might be, man. He really might be.
You never know. They may start stocking up on defensive backs.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
And I want to know, did he drop to the 2nd round and then we trade up? I'm just saying.
There you go. Yeah, the gauntlet. He tore that up, Morgan. He tore that gauntlet drill up, boy. Yeah, let me ask you this question, though, about secondary. So we know Dante Jackson just took a pay cut, so they restructured his deal, which to me, I would have got his whole deal off the books and got rid of his ass. But how do you guys feel about the secondary, man, now, man? Like, C.J. Henderson is obviously still there. We let Miles Hartfield walk, and he went to San Francisco with Steve Wilkes and Christian McCaffrey and Dalton. I swear, the 49ers and the Bears are the new Panthers now, right? They're the new Carolina. Everybody we lost went to either one of those teams, the 49ers or the Bears. So what do y'all think about the secondary room, man?
We need some more help, but I don't think Hartfield gonna get no play.
No.
You don't think we'll get no burner?
Hell no.
No, he plays slot and he plays a safety, but he just don't look.
But Jimmy Ward
not effective.
Jimmy Ward signed so well, didn't he?
Yeah, Jimmy Ward. I think he signed with if I'm not mistaken, he might have signed with. Let me see. That's a power
I
up
know
there,
he's not. I
right?
know he's not in there though.
Yeah, he's
I know
not
he's
there no
not.
more.
So he might get some burn.
Well, you're right. Then he'll be first guy off the bench.
Oh yeah, he signed with the Houston Texans.
And you know what? Defensive coordinator. The same thing with Miles. So Miles with so he can bring in Wilk's philosophy.
Right.
Yeah, I
Hey,
understand.
shout out to Jesse, man. He a diehard 49er fan. Jesse, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a question, man. How do you feel about Steve Wilkes coming over there to be our defensive coordinator, man? You can just let me know in the comments. And obviously, y'all got Christian McCaffrey, Sam Darnold. Do you think Sam Darnold's going to have a chance to compete with Trey Lance and Purdy? Purdy might not be ready for the regular start of the season, man. So what are your thoughts on that, man? I would love to hear your opinion on that. T. Thompson said he got his eyes on Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver from Ole Miss. I didn't hear a ton about him, but I know a little bit. I think he's a big guy, if I'm not mistaken. He's a big wide receiver. So let me ask y'all this question here. If the Panthers are able to lock in Adam Thielen and DJ Shark, how does this change the draft now? With all of the free agent signings that we've done, how do we approach the draft now?
We still need a safety.
No,
I
we
think
got
we'll get our
one
quarter.
more.
I think we go quarterback, edge, then wide receiver.
Yeah.
You mean outside linebacker or edge? Which one are we talking about?
Edge.
So you want to go a 300-pounder?
Nah.
You talking about outside linebacker now? Then
Yeah, outside linebacker. Yeah, outside
Do
linebacker.
you guys think we should sign Jadeveon Clowney
I
for
do.
a year?
I
or
don't.
two?
Hell no.
Hey, I think bring him back home, man. You got to remember, he from the Carolinas. He will take a low deal. He fits a 3-4 scheme. He can stand up and play linebacker, and he can play defensive end. I would not be mad if they brought him in to play defensive end. Yannick Ngakoue is another name.
Okay.
I think if we do that,
I
if
feel
we
like
fill that
he
defensive
gives
end
up,
role,
bro.
I feel like we fill that defensive end role, we can go all in second round for receivers.
Okay.
So name your first three picks now. Obviously, quarterback number one.
Yeah. For me, as of right now,
name your
middle
picks
linebacker.
Now.
So
quarterback, receiver.
I would go
middle linebacker.
Quarterback, receiver. Quarterback, receiver. I would go quarterback, receiver. Quarterback, receiver, defensive end as of right now. But I don't think you can get value at defensive end in the third round though. That's why I say I think we got to get. I think we got to get Jadeveon.
Do you want
Clowney on
another
a deal.
300-pounder? Are you talking about outside linebacker? Which one are you talking about?
That's the part that I'm trying to say, CLT. You know, we switched to that 3-4 scheme, so most of the people that you would think will play defensive end for us, it might be a hybrid linebacker. And you got to remember, Jeremy Chin is also going to be back in the box this year. So is linebacker really that much of a need now? Because you still have
middle linebacker.
Yeah, middle linebacker is very important because Shaq got to go.
You still got Barno. You still got Barno. You still got Brandon Smith. You still got Louisville. You still got Shaq.
Brandon Smith's development this year is important, bro.
Yes, it is.
You're right. He has all the attributes to be a good linebacker. I think if we can teach him the mental aspect of the game, how to be a smart linebacker, I think we got a diamond in the rough in Brandon Smith.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse here, man. He said he loves Wilkes. He fits the mold. Salah and Rhymes from a leadership standpoint. Darnold isn't competing for nothing. If Trey Lance show, definitely agree. Definitely agree with that, man. Listen, y'all gonna be right back in the mix of the NFC this year, bro. Right back in the mix for this NFC. The Eagles lost a lot, so and y'all gained a lot. So I think that you guys are gonna be right back in the mix of things. If Trey Lance can come back healthy and show what he got.
Donald's gonna get that position.
I would say this, man. This is what I would say the Panthers should do. Obviously, quarterback number one. Second round, I'm going to get a wide receiver. I'm going to get an elite wide receiver for my young quarterback, a weapon for my quarterback because he needs talent around him. And honestly, right now, we don't have a ton of talent. Yes, we made some pretty good moves in free agency, but I'm still want to get that playmaking wide receiver, try to get a deep threat if possible, because we haven't had nobody to take the top off since Ted Ginn Jr. Like, we really haven't. We need a wide receiver that can take the top off. That's one thing that we've been missing. So a true deep threat. And then with those third picks, I probably will, try to see about, if there's a corner there, maybe your boy from TCU is there late in the third round. Hodges. I can't think of his full name, Tre'Davious something Hodges. Maybe he's still there for TCU. Take a corner. And then as far as defensive end go, I mean, yeah, you can get a defensive end later in the draft. They were already talking about like KJ Henry or somebody that might be there late in the third or fourth round. The Panthers can still be able to take late. So I'm definitely, but my two top after quarterback, I'm going wide receiver and corner.
Yeah, okay. We definitely need the corner, but I think mine is going to be quarterback, receiver, middle linebacker, then corner. That for this reason, because we definitely need a middle linebacker, because in 2 years Shaq will be gone. We want him to be gone. And then you have Smith and that guy there in the middle. And then you have Louvu and Burns on the outside. And then you're good. And then you have Barno and those guys coming in right now. They're still on their rookie contract. So I think we'll be fine. But we need a middle linebacker for sure.
Sorry if I pronounce this wrong, though. But do you think Jalo Evero, however we pronounce it, do you think his focus is going to be stopping the run or pass rush?
Both.
Yeah, I think it's going to be both.
He do exotic blitzes.
If that's the case, you got to have a defensive end then. You can't just base it off having these big tackles sliding down defensive end if you want to pass rush, because they're not known for pass rush.
But Burns is still there as a pass rusher. And then you can either put Smith or Louvu as a pass rusher. Remember, you got they're playing outside linebacker.
I don't think
that's really your pass rush.
I don't think Louvu is a great pass rush.
But you still, now you got Barno, though. Barno don't have to play like the end that we tried to force him to play like, and let him play just like Burns on the other side, standing up or rushing.
Yeah.
Well, the coaching staff that we brought in, they're gonna have to develop our young talent in Barno and Smith.
You're right.
I think they will. I think Evero is going to really. I think Brandon Smith is going to take a step up this year. Even as a rookie, he showed flashes. Like, his game is still erratic, but that's to be expected because he's a young linebacker. But when he did make plays, he has the speed, bro, and the power to be able to fly downhill. And what I'm happy about is Jeremy Chin can now be back in the box, and we can really start getting our money's worth from him. Because at safety, he was a non-factor. That's not his position. He's a hybrid linebacker. I mean, he could play and he can guard like, a wide receiver if he needs to. But for the most part, you need him to be in the box. So with putting all of that speed in the box, man, and yes, you could get a linebacker late, but I just don't think, man, like with him coming back down and being a true in-the-box player, I just don't think it is as dire now for us to like spend a high pick on a linebacker. Like
he's gonna be a joker.
Say it again.
He's gonna be the joker. He's gonna be the guy that's roaming. You get a middle linebacker that can control the defense. I'm saying Shaq ain't that guy.
A QB on defense is what you're saying.
Yeah, you need that because either that or your safety is the guy. But in this case, we don't have that. So we need a leader in the middle.
I agree.
The defense.
I got a question though, Wavez.
Go ahead.
Because you said something that I've said on other podcasts before, and they're like, "Hey, we need somebody who can take the top off. We need a burner."
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because there ain't no Ted Ginn in this draft. So who is the burner? Because I don't see him. And the ones that are burners, they ain't got no damn
Hyatt will be a good burner. McCole Hardman in free agency will be a good burner.
Yeah.
McCole Hardman will be a great addition to be a burner that can take the top off. Man, that man's speed on Madden like a 97.
What y'all think about Cedric Tillman? The one that played opposite of Hyatt.
That would be the guy. We can get him in the second or third round.
Yeah. Cedric Tillman could be a good third round pick if he's available. I mean, DJ Shark is fast, and he does catch deep balls. So I wouldn't rule that out either, man. But I'm talking about a true burner, man. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
yeah,
that's
a
what I'm trying to
true
get to.
burner.
We
But to me,
we're
Cole Hardman.
my only problem with him is he
Dependable.
doesn't stay healthy. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he got
If
it.
High is there at the second pick, I would pair him with our quarterback.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah.
yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
Like
That's true.
that one wide receiver, Matt Landers. Man, he ran a 4.38. He about 6'2", 220, but he ain't got no hands.
Shout out to
It
Greg
sound
Taylor
like Tay again.
here. He said he wants Shark back. Nah, man, y'all got to give it to us, man. If the Panthers can pull this off, fellas, and they can sign Thielen and Shark, y'all, this has been the best free agency the Panthers have ever had.
Ever.
Man, I haven't seen DJ Chark. Like, I haven't paid attention to him in so long. I don't remember what he does. Like, what's his like?
Go look at his tape from this past year. He made a lot of big plays with Detroit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he made
When
a
I, when,
You
I,
gotta think.
when I looked it up, he only had like 400 or 500 yards though.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but he
mean,
didn't really. The other guy, the guy that got the two names, Johnson,
Amon
whatever.
St. Brown, Rod St.
There
Brown.
you go.
Yeah,
That guy, they targeted him all the time.
Yeah, he was getting all of the targets, and they had a good tight end, and plus they ran the ball a lot in Detroit too.
Right.
True.
It's like, because what's your number two? You want him to at least have 500 to 700. I would think. Number two, you want at least 500 to 700 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you sign Thielen and Shark, you don't need but 400 or 500 apiece. With the receiver that we bring in free agency.
Bro, if Adam Thielen can come in and give us 600 to 700 yards, bro, he's done his job at 32 years old. I mean,
Yep.
like to me, that's doing your job. If you can get 600 to 700,
give me
and maybe because Adam Thielen is a red zone threat too, so he get a lot of his touchdowns in the red zone. So if he can get 7 to 8 touchdowns and 700 yards, he's done his job.
Yeah, he's done his job.
Yeah, and for DJ Shark, I mean, because remember, you still got Terrace Marshall Jr. So for DJ Shark, if he can come in, man, and be a deep threat, and he can get 700 to 800 yards. I mean,
You good?
I don't see one wide receiver taking off for 1,000 yards for us because we don't. I still don't think that none of these guys are still number one. And now you have a tight end. So honestly, I see Hayden Hurst probably having a bigger year than any wide receiver we have.
I don't see that.
I don't see that one though. I don't see that because we have no threat, no someone that, in order for the receiver not to get zoned out, people covering them up, you need somebody to at least take the top off or be a threat on the outside.
Right.
And so he only had 400 to 500 yards this year. So where do you get that he becomes 1,000 yards?
Who you talking about for Hayden Hurst?
Right.
He wasn't a premier.
Look where he was behind for the Bengals. For him to get 500 yards in that system, come on, he was behind T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase.
1,000 yards for a tight end is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I didn't say he was going to get 1,000 yards. I just said that he's probably going to have a bigger impact than any other wide receiver that we have.
I thought you said he would have more yards than any receiver we have.
Nah, but I could definitely see him having more touchdowns than any wide receiver we have.
I agree with that.
Hey, y'all, I hate to cut this short, but I got to run. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, we about to close it down here in a little bit anyway, Poppin', man. I just wanted to pop up on here and holler at everybody, man. Let everybody know. If you're new to the channel, everybody, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Life is just a way, man. We're on the way to that 700 mark, man. Trying to get to 1,000 here in the next month or so. So y'all make sure to continue to support the channel. Appreciate Poppin' pulling up CLT Wiley, man. It's always all love, boys, to have y'all come up here, man. I just appreciate the support of, obviously, man, with everything that's been going on, man. So, I'm super, man, blessed to have y'all fellas pull up on me today, man. Most definitely. So, again, everybody, appreciate y'all pulling up. Fellas, y'all got any last words, man? Anything that y'all want to drop?
I want to say thank you for having us, man. It was a good conversation, man. I appreciate seeing you back on live, man. That's great. And you said You will be doing mock draft Monday or
Yeah,
Tuesday?
I'm probably going to end up doing a mock draft tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and schedule it out, and I want y'all to pull up on me, man. I'm going to let y'all know because I want y'all to be a part of that mock draft as well, man, and see what the Panthers do with these picks we got now.
What time you doing your mock draft?
Probably going to be doing it at night, man, so it'll probably be somewhere probably like 8 p.m. Eastern or something like that. I know you could cross seas, man, so I don't want to, cut into your time too much.
Yeah. So that'll be that's like 4 in the morning. Nah, I won't be up yet.
Oh yeah, damn, my bad, Wally. Where you at now, Wally?
I'm in Germany. I'm in
You're back
Germany
in
right
Germany.
now.
Okay, cool. Well, I am going to be going live during the daytime because with my schedule and stuff. So I will be doing a lot of lives during the daytime here too, Wally. So you can make sure to pull up on me too, man.
I will. Sometime I see you do like 11 or 12 your
yes,
time?
Sir. Yep.
Yeah, that's when I'm getting off. So that's all good. I'll pop in there.
Sounds
But
good.
this definitely. I've been sitting here thinking, man. I don't know. Like you said, we never had this before, and this is I'm too optimistic, I believe, for the season. Because this is making us look like it's making us look like we ready for business.
I think this year I really see us making the playoffs, bro. And that's
we're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we definitely should. We definitely should. I think that we definitely should make the playoffs this year. I think that with this staff and the job that they've done in free agency so far, I think our defense is going to be solid this year. I think that the offense, we just got to add a couple more weapons here. And obviously, you draft your quarterback. I think that we should definitely be able to try to take the NFC South. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. It's too early to be talking about any of that. But I think we should definitely be making a run at the NFC South, hands down.
I think what we have now, and to say we get CJ, I want CJ, and we draft a receiver in the second round. I think we can win the opening the opening round of the playoffs. That'll be a home game. I think the defense is going to lead the way. The defense is going to lead the way for sure, but the South ain't strong this year.
The Saints,
and
man.
Who we gonna play? Dallas?
We can't sleep on the Saints, though, man. I just don't think we should be sleeping on New Orleans, man. Look, they've quietly made some solid moves, man. Michael Thomas restructured his contract. If he can come back healthy and get back to form, he's a threat. They got an emerging Chris Olave. They signed Jamal Williams, who I wanted Carolina to get before we signed Miles Sanders. And Kamara, even if he get 5 or 6 game suspension, he's still an elite running back. And I'm not scared of Derek Carr either. But Derek Carr right now is still the most experienced quarterback that we have here in the NFC South, and he's above average.
That's true.
He's above average.
Everything you said is true. But the coach is way below average.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So they can be all good. Yeah, they can be all good, but the coach is horrible. Now, if they had that with Sean Payton, okay, I'd be like, okay, it'll be a threat. But Dennis Allen, he ain't no threat, man.
Right. Absolutely. Well, fellas, we'll go ahead and close it out. Hey, again, everybody, man, thank y'all so much for pulling up on your boy. Big Waves in the building. Like and subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all like this so we can get this thing in the algorithm, get these videos coming. More content is on the way. It got more weekly segments that are going to be dropping next week, man. So y'all keep an eye out on it. Got one segment they're going to be dropping with Big Bro on Wednesday. Mock draft on the way. Panther off-season talk continues, man. Appreciate y'all fellas for pulling up. Everybody be easy. Life is just a wave, baby.
Already.
Peace.